Good evening. My name is Jonathan Langenbach, and today we are taking part in the Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated Case Project. We would like to thank you for selecting MTSU for this project, and we hope we do not disappoint with this presentation. Before I begin with the company overview, a brief overview of what we're going to go over, we're going to be doing the actual overview, a brief overview of the Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated. We will then move into a SWOT analysis of their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We'll then do a financial analysis on where they stand profit-wise. We'll then go into some of what we believe the problems they are facing are and our recommendations to fix them. The Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated was founded in 1902 by J.B. Harrison, J. Luther Snyder, and J.P. Gibbons. In 1980, they were actually consolidated into the Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, they are the primary bottler for 15.5 million people in 12 states. These states are North and South Carolina, West Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, Maryland, Ohio, and the District of Columbia. They manage all this from their corporate headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. And now I'm going to turn it over for our SWOT analysis.
Thank you. My name is Marquise Harden. I'm going to be doing the SWOT analysis for the Coca-Cola Bottling Company. After doing the SWOT analysis, we were able to determine that the opportunities for a Coca-Cola Bottling Company is that the Coca-Cola products are sold in more than 200 countries and has a growing demand. The opportunity for growth rate and profitability in the global market is very secure. The threats that were discovered while doing the SWOT analysis was that the Coca-Cola system has more than 900 bottling and manufacturing facilities. This creates a competition in obtaining market segments. Another threat that was discovered during the SWOT analysis was political forces and government regulations, like soda bans that try to limit or prohibit the sale of many sweetened drinks by size and volume. As the country moves towards a more health-conscious society, Coca-Cola Bottling Company must adapt to stay competitive. During the internal analysis, it was discovered that one of the strengths that Coca-Cola Bottling Company actually accesses or has is the bargaining power of suppliers. It's quite low for a Coca-Cola Bottling Company. As the United States' second large bottler, Coca-Cola Bottling Company has the resources to shop around for the best resources and best prices. Coca-Cola Bottling Company is also taking the initiative of constantly innovating their bottling methods and methods of distribution. Its culture also allows its facilities to operate at a more efficient level than its competitors and also at a lower cost of production. One of the weaknesses that was discovered was that more products means less warehouse capacity. As more product lines become available for Coca-Cola Bottling Company, has to make changes to its production methods from bottling to distribution. This also reduces the amount of capacity and storage and also the way that they go about loading the equipment, so they have to change their methods around, and that actually is one of their weaknesses.
My name is Blaine Kilburn, and I'll be doing the financial analysis for the Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated. For the financial analysis, I'd like to point out that there was a growth of $1,746,369,000 net sales in 2014, and it grew to $2,306,458,000 in 2015, which resulted in a growth of 32.1%. $436 million of the sales came from the bottling company expanded to new territories. And also, there was an extra week in 2015, so there's one more week of sales in 2015, which resulted in $39 million of sales. The cost of sales grew from $1,041,130,000 in 2014 to $1,405,426,000 in 2015, which resulted in a 35% increase. The gross margin went from $705,239,000 to $901,032,000 in 2015, which resulted in a 27.8% growth rate. $20 million of expenses related to acquiring and transitioning to expanding territories was incurred by the bottling company in 2015.
Hi, my name is Justin Cox, and I'll be listing some of the problems we feel that Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated faces. The main problem we believe is their cost of this transition and expansion. The cost of goods sold has increased 8.76% over the last decade, and they are facing a shrinking profit margin despite the fact they have grown in revenue over the last several years at a faster rate than the rest of the industry. The company has gone from processing 200 to about 800 flavors. Some of the flavors targeting the same market and same customers, forcing Coke products to compete against each other. Since Coca-Cola Bottling Company has to process syrups and can and distribute them themselves, as well as store and distribute some products directly from the Coca-Cola parent company, having multiple products that compete in the same market limits their ability to use up inventory that they sell to vendors, meaning they have to store some products longer than they actually need to. They are adding territories in portions of Ohio, West Virginia, and then are also adding production facility in Twinsburg, Ohio. The cost of running and managing and acquiring all of these facilities and warehouses is going to cut into the profit margin and add overhead costs, as well as costs to their fixed assets. The high costs of acquisitions, labor, and taxes are also cutting into the profit margin, as well as having to adequately staff these warehouses.
My name is Joseph. Based on the problems that we discovered, we are offering some recommendation that hopefully will help solve the problem. First of all, adding more flavors to their product lines and the high demand means less warehouse space. Coca-Cola Bottling Company is now using the just-in-time inventory model. The problem of less warehouse space can be solved by switching to VMI, that's a vendor-managed inventory. This will give Coke the control of the vendor's inventory. Well, by so doing, this will give them an insight into the customer sales and their needs. VMI will help prevent overflowing their warehouses or shortages, as well as costly labor, purchasing, and accounting. VMI model will help the company to maintain a proper inventory, and this optimized inventory that will lead to easy access and fast processing. The company should also invest in business intelligence, and this will give them insight to the current sales and also predict the future demand for each product line and flavor that they have. This will give them the idea of the flavors and the product to store at the warehouse at a particular period of time. Also, the company went from processing 200 to about 800 flavors. That's by adding about 600 more flavors to their product line. Due to this, they have different products targeting the same customers and different flavors competing in the same segment. The company, we recommend that the company get rid of some of the flavors and invest money into marketing and promoting the top selling flavors. These are our recommendations.
As we've just seen from our SWOT analysis, the financial analysis, our problems and our resolution suggestions, switching to a just-in-time inventory system and increasing their business intelligence while downsizing on their flavor numbers will allow them to become more effective at what they do and to reduce unnecessary costs. We would like to thank Coca-Cola Consolidated Bottling Company once again for this opportunity and for choosing MTSU for this project. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation and hope that you consider us for the award. Thank you.